In this video, I'm going to talk about auditing enablement for a security role. Now, this is specific to audit report. Audit report basically gives you information about the security role actions which you perform within a Power Platform environment. Now, remember, this auditing is just for security role auditing. Now, why would you turn on the auditing for security role? Now, quite possible in your environment there might be multiple system administrator or system customizer who will be working on the security roles for your application, and you do not want accidental changes of information or some malicious user intent to configure the security, which might compromise the entire system. Now, with this action, you will be able to view the audited information. We can view the detailed audit information. Now, when you first navigate to your environment, and if you click on security roles and if you click on audit report, you will not be able to see this audit enabled by default. So it will give you an instruction on how to enable the auditing. And once you do that, so the process is basically you need to navigate to the security role table. So there is a security role table which is a system table basically built within the dataverse, which will list on all the security role. You just need to turn on the auditing. You just need to turn on the checkbox to audit changes to its data. And once that is done, you will start seeing the changes which you have made within your environment. Now, what are the changes which are all available? Now, in the screenshot, you can see that there are some operations which you have done, like an update or a creation, and it will specify which record, which security role in this case, and what are the events. So, events are converted into the privileges or the creation activity or association of the entity at a uh, uh, audit change at an entity level or associate entities, kind of an event, right? So uh, if you navigate to one of the event, then here you will see for which record you have made that change. So here I can see that on 8th of August I have made this change. I have associated the record name to Diago, and then this record was associated with system user record type through the system user role association relationship. So it will give you all this information, right? So let me show you in action how this all things works out. Okay, so first thing what you need to do is like you need to pick up an environment in Power Platform Admin Center. Now let me pick up some random environment. So I have this Girish dev environment. I will navigate to the Girish dev environment, and also in another tab I will navigate to same Power Platform environment, and this time I'll pick Girish Preview US environment. Okay, so I have two Power Platform Admin Center screen open. One is pointing to Girish Preview US environment. Second one is pointing to Girish dev environment. So for that, first what we need to do is like we need to check how to view the audit report. So for a security rule, so in order to do that, what we will do, we'll go to the settings, and under user permissions, I'll go into the security rules. Now in security rules, here you should be able to see a button called as audit report. Okay, you can either create a new role, new security role, and we can view the audit report. So if I click on audit report, I see all the audit related information over here. Okay, similarly, if I go into this environment, so let me just duplicate this. So Girish preview US environment. If I click on settings, go to users, permissions, security rules, and I will be clicking on audit report, and I should be able to see all the audit data which has happened in this particular environment. Now let me go into another environment. So let me go into say Girish, or maybe let me go into say something else, Kit. Okay, so I have this environment called as Kit. Now I'll go into this Kit environment, and then I will again do the same step. Go to settings, and then under users permission, go into the security role, and now I'll click on audit report. Now for the two environment, I have already enabled audit, and that's why you are able to see this information. But for this environment, I cannot say. It says audit reporting is currently turned off. Please turn on the audit logging in the environment system settings. So what you need to do is like for this particular environment, if you want to turn this audit, then you need to go into that specific table within their environment. Now that table is called as security role. Now let me go into the maker portal. So I'll go to make.powerapps.com, and now I'll select this environment because this environment is does not have the audit report enabled. So that's the Git environment. So make sure that you are in make.powerapps, uh, and you go to Git environment. So I'm in the context of Git environment, and if I go into the tables, if I go into all, now here I should be able to see a security role table. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to go into the security role, and in the security role, here it says data in this table is read only as this table represents a collection of object. What you need to do, you need to just go into the properties of that table and go into the advanced option and turn on the auditing, which is here, audit changes to its data. So it says this table will not be audited until auditing is enabled for the organization. So only this change is not important. Okay, so first what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on the auditing for this particular table. It says this environment doesn't allow unmanaged customization. This was a choice made by your admin. Now, why this has happened is because for this environment, for this particular environment, if I go into Kit, if I go into the settings, and if I go into the features, there are a couple of things which you need to make. Okay. Now, you might encounter this situation. So let me just check out unmanaged. So it says block unmanaged customization. Now, this should be turned off. Okay, before you make the changes. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to do. And the second thing what you need to do is you need to turn on the auditing. So let me first make this off. So I'll just save this so that this record, this error disappears. Okay, so let me click on save. So it might take some time for these changes to take into effect, but once you make that changes, it should be smooth. So let this get saved. And the second thing what you need to do is, like, again, go back to the Git environment and go to audit and logs, go to audit settings, and then try enabling all the audits. So I want to start the auditing, I want to log the access, I want to tick on the read logs, and I'll click on save. Okay, so these are the two things which you need to enable. Now here I don't see any error. I'll just click on save. And now after a while, what might happen for the Git environment, we should be able to see the audit log details. So again, going back to the Git environment, going to the settings, go to users permission, go to the security roles, and click on audit report. It might take some time for this audit data to come in. Okay, so what I've done ahead of time, I have used this to environment to make this changes. Now as you see over here, I've just made this refresh, and now there is no error message, and I can see that there is no audit records found. Now, how do we generate an audit record if we make some changes to the security role? So let me duplicate this tab. Now, see, we are under the context of a Git environment. Okay. Now, in right from the start, I've shown you a couple of environment, Girish Privy US and Girish Dev. It already had audit enabled, but I have picked up an environment where audit was not enabled, and there were block unmanaged customization block on the environment level. So we have crossed all those hurdles, and now we have enabled the audit report. But how do we get a um, record over here? So what does the audit report contain? It contains basically if you have made any changes to the security role. So take for example, if I create a security role over here, and I'll call this as GBU security role. If I create this security role, okay, if I select the business unit, so business unit is Git, and I'll just click on save. Okay, now I'm creating some security role, right? So if I go into the audit report, and if I just click enter, after some time it should show me a record which says something has been created. So as you see over here, it says the event add privileges to role, and the record is GBU security role. Now what has happened, if you click on add privileges to role, it will show you the information from a privilege name, old depth and new depth perspective, and then it will show you that some action has happened. right? Now let us perform some couple of other actions. So if I again go back to the security role, and if I just make something, if I just add members, I'll just add say people over here. Let me see if I have Alex in this environment. Yes, Alex is there. I'll just add Alex to this environment. Now the moment you add a user to a security role, then let me close this, let me refresh the screen. I should be able to see one more record which will say something has been added, right? So I can see that associate entities. So I have done this action. So what I've done, I have added Alex Wilbur. So as you see over here, I've added Alex Wilbur to this particular security role, and that's why this associated record name has come in. So this is basically an update operation. Now to put some more things on the security role, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the privileges. Okay, so let me see if I can make any changes to, so let me say app config master, I'll just put it as none and click on save. So again refresh. So now I've made some privilege level changes, and I have done that, replace privileges in role. So I'll just click on this, replace privileges in role, and I should be able to see the information of what all things I have made those changes. Again, what I'm gonna do, the role which I have created, I'm gonna remove this role. Okay, so I'll just click on three dots and I'll say delete. I'll delete this record. And let me come back and see the audit report. I've seen that. I can see that the event name is delete. And now what happens is like the references has been lost, because as this record does not exist, I cannot see this information, right? So that means if you delete any security role and if any action has happened in the audit record, then you lose that information as well. So you need to make a note of that. So if I click on delete, it will tell you that record name GPU security rule has been deleted. Who has changed it? Girish has changed it. And when did this happen? Okay, so all this information gets populated in the audit record. So we have done a create, we have done an update, we have done a delete action, right? So this is how audit report calculates all this information and then present it to you. Now this is a useful bit of information if you want to do an auditing at an environment or a like a power platform level. So this is like a useful piece of information which is available out of the box, and this piece of information will help you understand the security posture for your environment, for your application, and then how this security is structured within your application platform. So that's it, folks. This is all about enablement of audit report and viewing the information about the audit data. Thanks for watching.